Dark nights alone, in the zone. Heart turns to stone, feel it to the bone. Clock ticks loud, can't escape the cloud. In the crowd, unbowed, thoughts wrapped in shroud. Volcy thoughts race, life's a twisted place. No time to erase, I just keep the pace. Streetlights glare, danger's always there. In the lair we prepare, no room for care. Shadow paths we trace, haunted smiles on our face. No dreams left to chase, locked in this space. Silence screams loud, destiny's proud. Can't stand the crowd, darkness is our shroud. Clock ticks loud, can't escape the cloud. In the crowd, unbowed, thoughts wrapped in shroud. Falsy thoughts race, life's a twisted place. No time to erase, I just keep the pace. Streetlights glare, danger's always there. In the lair we prepare, no room for care. Shadow paths we trace, haunted smiles on our face. No dreams left to chase, locked in the space. Silence screams loud, destiny's proud. Can't stand the crowd, darkness is a...
Open up the line a little bit. All right, cool. Cool. Let me know how y'all doing. What's good out there? Let me put my music on real quick. Let me go ahead and put my music on real quick. What's going on with y'all? My voice is a little low, so I'm unplug my mic for a bit. Just a second. Give me a second, y'all.
Dark nights alone, in the zone. Feel it to the bone.
All right. Yeah, that's a bit better. Yeah, that's way better.
Clock ticks loud.
What's going on, y'all? What's good? What's going on, y'all? You got Anima in the building. Anima, let me make sure that you're modded. All right, cool. Yeah, you're modded. All right, Anima is modded. What's going on, y'all? I appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all go ahead and tap that screen. Tap that screen while I wait for folks to come in. While folks is coming in, we're gonna go ahead and wait for.
Silence screams loud, destiny's proud. Can't stand the crowd, darkness is our shroud.
Y'all like my intro music? I know y'all like that, right?
Clock ticks loud, can't escape the cloud. In the crowd, unbowed, thoughts wrapped in shroud. Falsy thoughts race, life's a twisted place. No time to erase, I just keep the pace.
What's good, y'all? What's good?
Oh.
What up, K? All right, y'all. So, as always, one-on-one for now, and then we're gonna add people on later. All right.
Danger's always there in the lair.
So tap that screen.
No room for care.
Tap that screen. Let's try to get some folks in here.
Haunted smiles on her face. No dreams left to chase. Locked in the space. Silence screams loud. Destiny's proud. Can't stand the crowd. Darkness is our shroud.
Thank y'all so much once again for being in here. I love my intro music. Y'all like my intro music? That intro music is fire, ain't it? Yeah. Oh, whoa, let me pause it real quick. All right, y'all. So thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all so much for being here. We are going to go ahead and start off the show. We're just waiting for folks to come in. We're just waiting for folks to come in. We're just waiting for some folks to come in. All right, y'all. We're just waiting for some folks to go ahead and roll by. Hope y'all can hear me well. All right, just look at the comments are good. All right, y'all. Hope y'all can hear me well. Yeah, we're just waiting for anybody to come in. Anybody who would like to talk. Of course, the call log is right there. Is also pinned in the chats. Is also pinned over on the Black Atheist Coalition. It's the Bash channel, and it's also pinned in my Volsy Thoughts channel. So anybody who would like to come in, have that discussion, yeah, go ahead and tap that screen. Waiting for anybody who would like to call. Waiting for anybody who would like to call, and anyone who would like to go ahead and come up and have the conversation. Of course, we already. Give me 1 second, y'all. 1 second. That's better. That's way better than I had before. All right, cool. All right, y'all. So we're just waiting for some folks to come in. Thank y'all so much for being here, being on the live. I'm gonna go ahead and, of course, play some of my whole time music, play some of my wait music for folks to come in, have the conversation, have the discussion. Okay, we did get one person. All right, y'all. I'm bringing up B&B up to the stage. Once again, if you'd like to call in, phone number is 786-530-5941. We're going to talk to B&B. B&B, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And do you think you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
I'm not 18. I'm 16, but can I still talk?
Typically, you have to be 18, but do you think you can give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah, sure. Personally, I'm Muslim.
Okay.
And I believe in the Quran because only is it preserved. There are no contradictions and there are miracles in the Quran itself. Should I give you examples?
You said that there are miracles in the Quran and there's no contradictions?
Yep.
All right, you absolutely sure about that?
Yeah, do you have a contradiction?
Well, let's see. Let's see if we can find some contradictions. Contradictions in the Quran. Let's see if we can find some. Yeah. So some critics have said that there are some contradictions, but shit. 1 second. Sorry about that. But yeah, some critics have said that there are contradictions. Oh my God. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I apologize. All right, you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
All right, I apologize for that. I am sorry. I got to get a new mic. I do apologize. All right, so yeah, as far as yeah, as far as there being any contradictions or non-contradictions in the Quran, honestly, I don't really care if they are or aren't they. The issue what I would come up with is that how do we show this to actually be true? Because I don't think Muhammad ever split the moon in half or flew to heaven in a chariot, in a fiery chariot, right? So are those going to be like things that actually genuinely happen, or are those going to be like metaphorical claims, like how Christians say that a lot of the supernatural claims in the Bible are more metaphorical than they are literal? Like, which one would it be?
Yeah, about the Prophet going to heaven, of course, there's no way we can prove it. So the reason we know it's true is based on the other miracles. And about splitting the moon, of course, if God split the moon, there wouldn't be traces of God splitting the moon. He would restore it perfectly as it was before.
So why should we believe it?
And we should believe it for miracles. Ones that I remember are, for example, in the Quran, it mentions that clouds were heavy, and there's no way the Prophet, which is a literate man, could know. And there are many miracles in the Hadith, which is the story of the Prophet, which are all reliable with chain of narration, so it's credible.
I mean, like someone knowing that that clouds are heavy, sure, that could be very, very, like something that's advanced for the first one to know, right? Like if they, I don't know if they like what they did to measure it or whatever, because we do know that the Arabic world was advanced when it comes to mathematics and sciences and stuff like that. But I don't think that's necessarily a miracle because they predicted something that that modern humans found out thousands of years later. Like what was his name? There was a Greek person that predicted the shape of the earth by looking at sticks. You know what I mean? So not looking at sticks, but he calculated the circumference of the earth by looking at sticks. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't think that's a miracle. We wouldn't say that now because he did that, therefore Zeus exists, right? We wouldn't say that. So it's like they could be, scientific things in the Quran that they got correct, and that's great because the Arabs don't get enough credit for how much mathematics that they knew. But well, of course there's algebra, so they get credit for that. But yeah, they don't get a lot of credit for a lot of things that they knew, right? So that wouldn't show me that it's a miracle. It just showed me that they had some advancements that Europeans didn't have, which a lot of people did. You know what I mean, which would be great. But how would that be a miracle other than and not just a scientific explanation that they found out before everybody else?
True, I can't lie, you're right. It doesn't stand alone, just one verse of clouds being heavy. And they didn't, in fact, know that it was heavy. They only relied on the Quran, but they had no scientific evidence. It's only later they knew. But the main reason why I would believe the Quran to be true is because of its preservation and many of the miracles. Let me give you another one. Another one is many times it says in a verse the word of an animal, and then the letters reaching to the animal is the exact chromosomes that it has. I'm not sure, but I don't think they knew what a chromosome was back then. Another miracle would be, for example, of course, it's like a literary piece of work, the Quran, and all the Arabs, even the Christian Arabs, they couldn't challenge it in the way it was written, how beautiful it was, and yeah, that's one of them. Also, because there's no contradictions. I want you to bring up contradictions to.
That's not really a miracle, though, man. Just because things are beautifully written doesn't make it a miracle.
I mean, you can always claim everything is not a miracle, but everything added up, then it becomes a miracle.
Not necessarily, man. Like knowing scientific things, writing things beautifully, none of those things are miracles. We do that every day.
No, but not at the level of the Quran. That's the point.
Not at the level of the Quran. Are you sure? I mean, because doesn't the Quran say that a man's seed comes from his rib, and we know that's not true?
It doesn't say that it comes from his rib.
His rib or his back is one of those things.
Somewhere near the backbone, yeah.
Yeah, that's not true.
I'm pretty sure there's something called like the seminal gland that was there. And also, there's many interpretations for it. And
exactly. That's going to be the next thing I was going to. That's going to be the next thing I was going to brought up. How you're just not interpreting it this way?
Yeah, let me tell you. First, what you're mentioning, it doesn't relate to the theology of Islam. If we can confirm that the theology of Islam is true, then if the rest, we don't need to understand it to be true.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Example,
so if we can
one
confirm,
verse.
All right, so let's go to the theology of Islam. How do we show the theology of Islam to be true? Because you already said that we can't prove supernatural claims. So if we can't prove supernatural claims, how do we prove the theology true?
Yeah, I never said it was through supernatural claims. It's just like I said, many of the miracles, like I told you, the chromosomes, the cloud, all of them add up into it being more reliable than the rest. Because of course you can't have concrete fact that there's a God or there's a religion. It's based on these evidences that highly suggest that Islam is a true religion.
All right, so let me ask you this. When it comes to the cloud thing, right? Yeah, that's great, but that doesn't mean that that's a miracle. They just knew a scientific thing before everybody else. People have done that all over the world before. Like, for example, ancient Africans knew about fractal math before the Europeans did. you're not going to call African voodoo a miracle, are you? You know what I'm saying? So is that these things wouldn't show that to be a miracle. But when it comes to chromosomes, does the Quran actually says that these are chromosomes, or does it, or is it like something that you're interpreting from what they call animals? Like these will be two different things. If they predicted chromosomes, that would be one thing. But if they just said this is the name of an animal and it could vaguely match up with whatever a chromosome is, it's not really a miracle. And not only that, like you're bringing these things up, but we're asking about but you said that you have to show the theology to be true. In order to show a theology to be true, you would have to show the supernatural claims to be true. And you already said that you can't do that. So how would we go about this now?
Like I said, personally, I think the Bible doesn't have superior evidence to Islam and all the other religions. That's why I would believe that Islam is true. Of course, there's no concrete evidence for any religion, evidence that you can see with your eyes, but yeah.
Okay, so for the evidence for Christianity, they would have to show that Jesus actually rose from the dead. They can't do that. In order for the Quran to be shown to be true, what do we actually do? We have to show that Muhammad split the moon. What will we have to do? Yeah, I mean, because I'm not sure how do we show that Islam is correct and Muhammad is his final prophet, because this was just a guy claiming to be. Like, what do we show? How do we show that to be right? Like, because the angel Gabriel never came to us and said, yeah, I came to Muhammad in a cave in Saudi Arabia and I gave him the last word. Gabriel's never done that. So what do we do?
Look, like you said, you can't prove that Jesus resurrected from the dead, or you can't concretely prove that the Bible is truly from God, because I can pull up the same arguments as you. And the reason
I'm not a
pull up
Christian,
my
so
arguments is because,
yeah, I'm not a
Anyways.
Christian, so it's like,
Yeah, so, like I said, all these miracles adding up are not proof, but enough for somebody to have faith in the religion.
I know, I get that, but I'm saying is like, I don't think these are miracles. These are just like the cloud thing that you brought up. Yeah, sure, that's a great scientific finding, but that's not necessarily a miracle. Like there were cultures all over the world that were finding scientific things. We don't call their indigenous religions miracles. Like I said, like the Africans knew about fractal math. There's an African tribe that knew about the star Sirius before any other culture knew about it, and they did it through their indigenous religion, right? But we don't call those religions miracles. They just had scientific findings before Europeans did, or the rest of the world did. I mean, we just don't call them scientific. We just don't call them miracles.
That's because miracles can only be.
So I'm not sure. So I'm not sure why we wouldn't then call those what we call the Quran a miracle by predicting a scientific finding.
Yeah, let me answer your point, because I think I was going through other points.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's my bad. But it's true. It's not really a miracle. They could have found it out. But let me give you other examples. For example, the Prophet, there was a fight between two big nations. I think it's the Roman and Persian, but I'm not sure. And he predicted who would win before it happened. And the person who he said would win, they seemed like they were going to lose. They were basically fighting a losing battle, and somehow they won. And they were also, when he was doing a war, for example, I think it was the Battle of Badr, there were claims of angels fighting next to them. People just somehow they were getting hurt for no reason. And these people are testifying other than the Prophet. Another example is there was the Prophet and his people were separated from another tribe. There was a contract that they had in a box, okay? This contract said that the Muslims, basically, they couldn't be close in relations with the other tribe, and basically just segregating them, separating them. In the story, the Prophet, somehow a worm entered the box and ate the entire page except the word Allah. Now, this wasn't said from the Prophet. Other people went and see this, and this is the polytheists at the time. They were protecting it. So they had no reason to confirm that this happened.
Okay, so a worm ate some papers and missed the word Allah. I don't know, man.
Okay, what do you think is the evidence? What evidence would you want to prove that's concrete? And also, do you agree with me that the Prophet predicting that one country would win over another is considered a miracle. And also, sorry, one more
Nah.
example. He predicted the country that Islam would spread to, the majority of them, like Turkey, basically places around Middle East.
I mean, yeah, because it's like that's what's around. So I won't call that a miracle. But as far as predicting, which country would win, nah. I mean, because that could literally just be a guess. You know what I'm saying? So I want to call here. I mean, you asked me a question, right? What would I take as miracles, right? I would take as miracle if the angel Gabriel himself came down and told everybody, yes, this is what happened. This is true. Now, if that happened, we see that tomorrow, like Gabriel comes in the sky and it's all on every newscast. We all see it. Yeah. Okay. I'll accept that. I'm like, okay, cool. The angel Gabriel came down and he said it, because even if someone were to say, oh, that was just an alien, why would the alien choose Islam? Yeah, I mean, there will have to be a reason. You know what I'm saying? So is like I think there needs to be more than just the book said this happened, therefore miracle. I don't know about that, man. Now, hey, BNB, I do apologize. I do gotta let you go because you actually weren't even supposed to be up because you're 16 and not 18. But hey, I appreciate you. Hey, come back anytime though. Definitely come back tomorrow. We'll keep going through it. All right.
What time? Same time?
Same time. Yeah. But I appreciate you.
Okay, fun talking to you.
Not a problem. All right, guys. Now that was risky. All right. That was risky because he was, I think, 17 and not 18. So that was risky. But I think TikTok let that one go through anyway. All right. Trail, how's it going, Trail? I'm only having opposition right now, and I do see you, Caddy, as well. But Trail, Caddy, go ahead and stay in the comments. I'm gonna bring you guys up soon. All right. Just don't worry. All right. Let's talk to M. After M, we're gonna talk to African scientists. M, how's it going? M, are you at least 18? And do you think you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah, I am over 18. Yeah, I can give you logical evidence that a God must exist according to logic.
Okay, according to logic, what would that look like? What would be the reason?
Okay, so for example, do you believe that the universe is created, or did the universe eternally existed?
I'm not sure. I don't know. When you say created, what do you mean by created? Do you mean by like
it must have come something from other than itself, like it just didn't pop up into existence,
like out of thin air? Yeah, like because the universe expanded from the hot dense state, right? Whatever that was, we don't know what that was, where it came from, or even what it is.
So it came into existence, though, right?
What the hot dense state?
The universe.
Well, our current presentation, yeah, it expanded. It came from the hot dense state, sure.
Oh, so the universe was created from something other than itself, right?
When you say created, how are you using that? Are you using that as like a willful agent or like a natural process? How are you using it?
And basically just came into existence from something other than itself. It just came into existence.
Well, I'm not sure if we can separate the universe from the hot dense state. We just know it expanded from there. But I'm just trying to understand what you mean by created, because like, let's say like I can create like a doll out of clay, or the clouds create rain. One is me doing something. The other one is just a consequence of physics. Like what would you, how would you say you're using created?
So do you believe that the universe at one point did not exist?
The universe at one point? No, I'm trying to clarify what you mean by created. Like if you could clarify that for me, please. Yeah,
that it came into existence.
Right. It came into existence like our current presentation now. Yeah, sure. It came into existence. It's expanded from the hot dense state. Sure.
So at one point it didn't exist, right?
At least the way that it's present now. No, it didn't exist the way it's present now.
No, I'm just saying in general, at one point the universe did not, because something can't come into existence if it did not exist. So if it came into existence, that means there was a point in time that it didn't exist.
It didn't exist in the way that we see it now, no. But it wasn't.
I don't even know what that means.
Okay. The way that I exist now, right, is not the way that I existed when I was 10 years old, correct?
You still exist as a human being.
I know. But listen. The way that I exist now. Wait, hold on, M. I'm trying to explain to you. It's a correct statement. Listen to what I'm saying to you.
No, it's not.
The way that I exist now with a bald head and glasses is not the way that I existed when I was 10 years old, right? Because when I was 10 years old, I had hair. I didn't have a beard.
But the point is that you still exist.
Hey, hold on. Listen to what I'm saying to you. The way that I existed as a 10-year-old without a beard, with hair, and without glasses is not the way that I exist now as a 30-year-old. Right? I changed.
That's not existing.
So hold on. My existence changed, correct?
Physically, your existence is still the same.
Are you saying that when I was 10 years old, I had a beard?
No, your physical features changed, not your existence.
That's what I'm saying.
Still the same.
Listen, I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The way that I existed. The way I existed. I didn't say existence itself. I said the way I existed.
The way that you look, not the way that you existed. The way that you look.
No, the way I existed.
Not the way that you existed.
The way that I look is a way I exist. What are you talking about?
No, incorrect.
Yes.
The way that you exist is because you have a heart, lungs, brain, and all these tissues. That's the reason why you exist.
Did I have a beard at 5?
If you change from being 10 years old to 20 years old, that's not a change in your existence because you still exist.
It's a change in the way I exist, M. It's a change in the way I exist, M. It's a change in the way that I exist.
It's not a change in the way that you exist.
Yes, it is a change in the way I exist because I didn't have a beard at 5 years old.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. I didn't have a beard at 5 years old.
That's not a true statement.
Did I have a beard at 5 years old or not?
Yeah, that's not changing in your existence, though.
I didn't say my existence itself changed. I said the way that I do change.
Bro, you said the way
that I exist.
You said I changed into my existence.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. You're not listening. I said the way that I exist changed because the way I existed at 5 is not the way I exist now.
No, when I was
5, I was 3 foot tall. I'm not 3 foot tall anymore. So the way I exist changed. The way I move through the world changed. When I was 5, I believed in Santa Claus. I don't believe in Santa Claus anymore. So the way I exist changed.
Bro, you're making an incorrect statement, but it's okay, no problem. So,
all right, we're gonna move on to African scientists because I don't want to go ahead and waste any more time. All right, African scientists, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And do you think you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah, I'm 18. You don't have to doubt it.
All right, sure. Do you think you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
I know you. I know your name, your last name, the school you went to. I know your mom's and your pop's name. I know your bank account and how rich you are and where you live and all that. I know what you did this morning. I know how you're thinking, what's in your mind right now. Do you believe me?
No.
Why?
Because you're just some stranger on the internet.
Oh, but you don't know me. What makes you not to believe what I just said?
Because you're some stranger on the internet. You just could be lying. You haven't given me any evidence that you know who my mom is. What's my mom name?
Do you have any evidence that I don't know what I'm talking about?
No, you made the claim. I don't have to disprove it. You made the claim. So you said that you know who my mom is. So you have to prove it. What's her name?
Yeah, but you.
No. You made the claim. You said you know who my mom is. I don't have to disprove anything. You said you know. So that means you have to show it. No, wait. Scientist, you're the one who said that you know. So you have to prove it. What's my mom's name?
Now that's exactly the point I'm trying to make. When somebody said a God exists, you would have to ask how he would come to that conclusion simply because he has to give you the evidence that you're asking for.
Correct.
Now, if somebody says a God created this planet, then you would ask how. It has to be explained to you.
All right, scientists, don't preamble. Get to your point. I've heard all this before. Scientists, hold on. Don't preamble. We've all heard this before. Just get to the point. What are you trying to say?
Just allow me. What I'm trying to say is the reason why some of us believe in a God, especially through a book that was revealed, is because how it was explained in the book, how nature is in existence. And that because when that was coming, well, the Quran.
The Quran tells you how nature forms?
Yeah, the Quran talked about.
Okay, where in the Quran could I find about evolution, dentology, about phylogenetics? Where in the Quran could I find about how trees form rings, how your teeth grow? Where in the Quran can I find that?
Actually, I am not in a position, but I could give you verses in the Quran that talked about embryology, the creation of man, and how he existed from every stage.
Yeah, what they said about isn't what they said about embryology incorrect though? Like I've read that before. That what they said about embryology they actually didn't get right. So which story are we talking about?
It talked about how man is created from fertilization to implantation and the stages of embryological stages of development.
Sure. What story is that?
And that could only be
understood. What story is it?
I can't tell you offhand, but I can definitely come back and tell you, because I'm in a situation where I can't, I don't want to say where I am right now. My hands are tied up, but I just want to give you, and you can use, you can find out the evidence yourself. But I would love to kind of give you the quotations of the verses that was mentioned in.
All right,
but the expansion of the universe.
I see it that it's in Surah Al-Mu'min 23. All right, so like.
Yeah, I think you would find it if you do your research. I'm just gonna give you references.
Yeah, I thought it. So when it comes to so when it comes to that, right? I did look it up just because I heard this before, and scientists have actually critiqued it to say that hey, they got a lot of this wrong, like the muscle and bone development, they didn't get that correct. Being clothed, fleshed, all that good stuff, they didn't get that correct. You know what I mean? So like, and not only that, there were embryonic theories like from the Greeks as well. You know what I mean? So it's like these things were going around at the time. It wasn't just in the Quran. So don't you think that if the Greeks were talking about this already, you don't think that it could have gotten to the Islamic world and it got made into the Quran?
I think in the golden age of Islam, the Greeks, the Indians, and the Persians will all come together to look into the seeking of knowledge. And the Quran was coming in to give you everything in a silver plate, but it gives a trigger. So you as man gets the power to use your brain and think and do more research to find out further details into what the Quran is pointing at. But it doesn't come in to give you all the details. It has to tell man, because the first verse, remember the first verse in the Quran was to read, right? Now, then you would have to look at it that it recognizes the power of man and his ability to study and find out and then get more evidence. The fact that it got most of the basic stuff right, and then because science itself evolves and science itself is not complete and it continues to change, and it continues to challenge some of the scientific facts that we know that were right before, we will find out that they were not. The science never knew that the universe was expanding. And when the Quran says that we created a universe that's still expanding, and science find out later on. So don't you think that as we grow as human beings and evolve and understand ourselves and our environment, we'll find things out that we now don't know about? Maybe more detail, in fact.
No, not really, because here's the thing that I'm seeing, that I'm finding out, right? Like the Greeks and the Persians and all of them, they all had the same idea of embryology before. They all had that same idea. So they all had that same idea. And hold on, scientific. If they all had that idea and they put it into the Quran, all that's happening is that the idea that existed around that time simply made it into the holy book. That's all that means. It does, and not only that, a lot of those ideas were wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that that this is now a miracle or they predicted something that nobody else was doing at that time. They were all doing at that time. Hold on. I'll let you talk. That's the first issue. Okay. The second issue is that you would have to now contend with the fact that there were Christians around that time that also predicted exoplanets, right? Planets around other stars, and predicted that the lights that we see in the sky, that they're stars and everything like that. There's a Christian, I think, that predicted that. I'm gonna find his name in a second. There was a Christian that predicted that thousands of years before we actually confirmed that. You know what I'm saying? So according to your own logic here, your own framework here, that would mean that Christianity is correct, because that Christian scientist thousands of years before we found out was able to predict exoplanets. You know what I'm saying? So just because there are people who can predict some scientific find that we find out later, which is great. That means that these people were extremely smart. If they lived in our time, they will be great scientists. Unfortunately, they don't. That could be amazing, right? But that doesn't mean that the religion they follow is true. Because if that's the case, the African religion of Dogon, the Dogon people, that one is true because they predicted the star Sirius thousands of years before anybody else did. But you're not going to switch to that religion, are you? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we just can't go off of that. We need more than that to show us something is true.
So the premise of the Quran is not that everything that came after it was wrong. The fact that it did mention those things that happened before it, whether they are miraculous and they're true in some detail. If you read the Quran, you realize it didn't come in to tell you. It has involved in it. It includes a lot of history of some of those things you're referencing at. And the fact that it talked about those historical facts, and it also expanded upon those historical facts just to show man what he's capable of doing. And then also to conclude at the end of the day to say that all that was as a result of a creation and not an evolution. That is the fact. It didn't come in. If the Quran said everything that came after it was wrong and that man was not that smart and intelligent enough to understand, but it says that every generation develops some form of intelligence, but then they go astray by believing in something that is wrong and going against themselves and destroying themselves, which leads to their own self-destruction. And before that, there would come upon them a warner who would remind them about goodness, that good over evil, and that everything that they see was created, and there is only one creator that makes all that to exist.
All right,
but it didn't say that.
Scientists, there's a problem here, because at the end of the day, anybody can predict that. We all know that the generations after us are going to know more than we are. We all know that, right? 100 years from now, when we're all dead and gone, someone is going to be able to figure out how to fuse or how to combine the theory of everything. Someone's going to come up with a theory of everything in 100 years from now to combine relativity with quantum mechanics. Someone's going to be able to know how to fuse those two theories, right? Like we know that. But to say that, hold on. But to say that because they'll be able to do that, therefore a creator, that's kind of silly. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, evolution is true. Like, we have evidence of it. So the Quran was wrong there, or Islam is wrong there. If you're going to say that evolution isn't true, it definitely is.
I think it depends on how you see evolution and how you believe it happens, right? But what I can tell you is algebra was invented during the golden age of Islam, and without algebra's invention, there wouldn't be the trigger necessary for you to be able to use your cell phone and talk to me right now.
Correct.
So the fact that happened, and let me come, and then the fact that the Quran mentioned these things for centuries ago or thousands of years ago, and that they still prove certain scientific facts and geographical locations, is telling you then, without using any scientific instruments or scientific technologies that we use right now to be able to make the same discoveries and find out those things exist, must tell you that a higher power must be sending that message.
Not necessarily, because at the end of the day, around that time when Quran was created, yeah, it was the golden age of Arabic culture, right? Like, people knew about like advanced mathematics. Like, hold on. People knew about advanced. Hold on. Okay. People knew about advanced mathematics around that time. That is true. The same thing was happening in Greece. Thing that was happening in India. Yeah, sure. Algebra was created around that time. Yeah, we get that and we know that. But just like how I was saying, there are other cultures around the world that were doing the exact same thing. People were discovering new mathematics and creating new mathematics. Yeah, sure. That is great. It just so happened that in this case, it made it into a holy book. That's the only thing. You know what I mean? But like, people knowing or creating new maths and discovering new ways to do math doesn't necessarily mean that now the religion is true. Because again, there were Africans who knew fractal math way before anybody else. We're not going to call those indigenous religions miracles. You're not going to convert to those. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to convert to voodoo. You're not. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we just can't say that just because they knew about these concepts, therefore the religion that they're part of was not true. It doesn't work that way.
So it's not necessarily about a religion. It's necessarily about the existence of a creator. Because once you start mentioning about religion, now you're talking about rituals. And ritualism sometimes don't necessarily make sense. It doesn't in any way prove to you the existence of a creator.
But
ritualism is man's way of connecting.
I got
ritualism.
you.
Allow me to make a point. I know I'm going to drop a little bit because you have a lot of people who want to talk to you.
I'm letting you make a point, but you're bringing up the creator, and we have to get to that point. How do we show the creator actually exists first? Because you just can't assert a creator. You have to show it exists.
By the way that we show a creator exists is the evidence that you were asking for me to prove that I know your mom by giving his name. If the creator exists, we wouldn't know. But if a man comes to us and says that he has evidence that the creator exists, and in that evidence he's able to explain creation itself, that the creator claims that he created it, and then we, after 1400 years ago, we were able to prove that in fact that is true and that's the way things happen, then I think logically we have to at least give credit to that man who claims, without using any technologies, any instrument, to tell us that somebody who created this. And then if he says somebody created it, he doesn't stop there, but he gave us an evidence to explain to us how it was created. You know what? Let me tell you one thing. During ancient Arabia wasn't an advanced society, right? They didn't have technologies. Yes, people were very smart. Yes, they were very poetic and stuff, but they didn't know that it was the.
You there? Scientist, you there?
Hello.
There you are.
So I was getting a call. It's an amazing conversation. I'm gonna come back again. Let me follow you, and we can talk about these things. Then I'll be at ease, and I'll have access to a lot of evidence to show you the evidence that is convincing about the fact that the one who claims that he made this creation, and the explanation that he gave about this creation, such as how the clouds and why the rain fall and how the rain is falling and stuff like that. I'll give you some of those scientific facts. Maybe you would be convinced.
Again, just like how I said before, people in the ancient world were discovering all things about our world, right? That doesn't mean that their religion that they're part of was now true, because again, like there were plenty of people who were discovering, maybe in China and in Japan and in Africa and in the North America, who were discovering scientific things about our world. The only sole difference is that when it comes to Islam, it simply made it into the holy book. You know what I mean? Can
I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Did the ancient world claim that there was a creator before the existence of Islam?
Who?
The ancient world, did it ever claim that there was a God or a creator before the claim was made by Islam?
Hell yeah. There are you know how many religions are older than Islam? There are plenty of religions way older than Islam, my friend.
Exactly my point. So they do claim, with all those discoveries, they do claim that after all, it was created by one God.
I understood, but that doesn't make it true. That's what I'm saying. The claim that the world was created by something doesn't make it true. That's what I'm saying. All right, we are at the time African scientists. We got to go, but go ahead and come back tomorrow, Sunday, when I'm on with Black Atheist Ranch. You can definitely come back up. All right.
I will. Take care. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Appreciate you. All right, guys. Really quickly, we're gonna get to Just User and Kyrie real quickly. I do appreciate y'all. Just a couple of quick announcements. Thank you so much, Collapse, for the membership, for being a member. Thank you so much, Collapse, for being a member, y'all. Memberships are now up on the YouTube. You guys can become a member. Drop some super chats if you would like. Thank y'all so much. If you're watching me over on the Deconstruction Junction, I appreciate you there. Go ahead and keep liking. I can't read the comments, y'all. I don't know what's going on over there. Not reading the comments. If you would like to talk to me, go ahead and hit the 786-530-5941. Go ahead and hit that up, and you can go ahead and talk to me. If you're watching me over on Volsy Thoughts, I appreciate you there as well. Same thing, 786-530-5941. It is pinned, and you can go ahead and talk to me there. Please don't just complain in the comments. Call and have a discussion. If you're watching me over on the Bash channel, Black Atheists, Skeptics, and Humanists on the Bash channel, go ahead and come in. Liquid Skittle tells me that Jesus loves me. Cool. Tell that nigga tell me. Don't you don't have to tell me. Tell that nigga call me then. 786-530-5941. Tell them to call all in, and then we can go ahead and have that discussion. Drop the super chats if you would like, y'all. I do have a give goal over here on TikTok. We're at 18K likes on TikTok so far. Thank y'all so much for the likes over on the TikTok, y'all. Keep it going. Keep tapping on the screen. I'm gonna go ahead and pin the give goal, and we'll see if I can get one friendly up. But Just User, we're gonna go ahead and get to you now. Let me know when you're back, Just User. Not sure if you can hear us. There you are. All right, you Just User. Are you at least 18? And do you think you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yes, I'm 18. Hello, first.
Okay, what's the good reason to believe in a God?
Okay, first of all, the reason to believe in a God, if you want to believe in a God, I can't give you a possible reason so you definitely believe in a God, you know. But I can give you science and scientific. You can call them sort of miracles, you know.
Are you gonna tell me? Are you gonna tell me what the last Muslims told me?
No. He was true, but I'm not gonna repeat his point. I'm just gonna give you takes, you know, and you're gonna give me your point. What do you think of them? The first thing I want to start with, for example, Quran. Supposedly, because you don't believe in a God, it wasn't sent by God. It was written by Muhammad, peace be upon him, right?
You think the Quran was written by Muhammad?
No, I'm saying from your perspective, because you don't believe in God. Mm-hmm. God didn't give he didn't give Quran to Muhammad. Muhammad, peace be upon him, he is the one who wrote the Quran.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. So Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in the Quran says that the body of Fir'aun. How much? I'm not scientific, but how much it takes for a body to deconstruct in a grave?
Decompose in a grave? How long does it take?
Yeah, decompose. I'm not good in English. Decompose.
I think a couple of months. Or a couple of weeks, actually. Well, it starts to decompose within a day, and then it takes for it to get down to the bones, I think it takes probably a few years, maybe a decade. I need to look that up. How long it takes to get to the bones? I think it takes a few years.
Okay, thank you.
To decompose. Yeah, it breaks all the way down in about 10 to 15 years down to the bone. So
thank you for the research. Thank you.
No problem.
Quran describes the body of Fir'aun as God says that he will preserve the body of Fir'aun for the rest of the time. For what he did to Moses, for that he hunted Moses and these people when they chose to believe in God and rebel on Fir'aun. He gave the it says that the body of Fir'aun is gonna stay. It's not gonna decompose. It's gonna stay preserved. He's talking about his body. Today, when you look at
you're kind of muffled there, my friend.
What do you mean muffled?
There you go. That's better.
Yeah, the body of Fir'aun is still preserved till today. So how do you see this? How can Quran?
Wait, the body of who?
Of Fir'aun.
Who's from? Who's from?
No, Fir'aun.
The body of Fir'aun?
Yes.
Who's that?
In Egypt.
Right. So a body
Egypt
a body of a pharaoh. Okay, yeah. So it got mummified. Yeah. Sure.
How do you see that?
They knew how to preserve bodies.
How did Muhammad, peace be upon him, someone in Arabia who was an ignorant, who didn't know how to read or how to write, according to historic documentations from his friends and from his companions, predict that Fir'aun, or how you call it, in Egypt, in a very far nation, in his tomb is gonna stay preserved, that his body is gonna stay preserved.
I mean,
how did you take this wild guess?
It's not a wild guess. It's kind of like he was in the area. You know what I mean? So it's not like he would be completely ignorant of Egypt. I don't think that would be the case. Wasn't Muhammad's father like a merchant or something like that? He would be aware of Egypt and probably their customs.
Actually, no. Actually, Muhammad, peace be upon him, never left.
He never left Arabia. Okay, no, that's fine if he never left Arabia. What I'm saying is that it's not like he wouldn't have knowledge of what's going on around his area. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I live in the United States right now, right? I don't live.
No, it's not a different
hold on, wait. Listen, I'm just giving you an example of what I mean. I live in the United States, right? I've never set foot in the UK, but I know UK has a parliament. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not like I'm not aware of, the world around me. I never set foot in Canada either, but I know the capital is Toronto. I think it's capital Toronto or Ottawa. It's one of them. But yeah, I know the one of the biggest cities at least is Toronto, and most of Canada lives in that area, and they speak English up there, and they go by liters instead of gallons.
And French too.
And French, yeah, I think they speak French in Quebec, and they use liters instead of gallons. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I never set foot in Canada, but I kind of know these things. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm not aware of what's the nation that's near us, but the same thing could happen with Muhammad. He could just be aware of what they're doing over there.
But don't you think it's a different case? Now from 1,400 years back.
Not really, because people, humans are very communal. Like, they know what's around the area. You know what I'm saying? Like they like someone from Sparta would know about a city in Africa in Aksum. They knew about. They were aware of their world.
He
like, they didn't know everything. They didn't know everything, but they would be aware of certain customs.
Yeah, but not about a man in his grave, when the common knowledge is when you get under the ground, when you are
decompose.
Buried, your body decomposes.
Right. But Egypt was different, wasn't it? In Egypt, hold on, just Egypt was different, wasn't it? Because Egypt, they mummified their leaders, right? So the person he was talking about, was that person a leader? Were they a pharaoh? And if they were,
how did he know?
He would be aware that they're gonna mummify him. Wouldn't that be the case?
Yeah, but how did he know that?
He probably, because again, people are people are kind of aware of cultures and customs that are in their vicinity, that are near them, right? So if he's aware of that, if he's aware that Egyptians, they mummify their leaders, they mummify their pharaohs, and this person is a pharaoh, he's gonna know that they're likely gonna mummify him, and that about to be preserved. Like, he would be aware of that.
Okay. Can we go to the second point?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so if you look at a cloud, when you were young or right now even, how does that cloud look? Does it look? For me, as a young person, when I was young, it looks like vapor, like it's not heavy, like it's. What is the opposite of heavy?
Light. Like clouds look like clouds light, when from the floor look light. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look light to you. Yeah, but they're actually heavy. Quran describes it
as heavy
1,400 years ago as heavy. Yes.
As heavy.
He is the one who sends the heavy clouds.
He people did it as heavy. So yeah, they described the clouds as heavy. No doubt. You know what I mean? And the thing is, what I was saying to the first caller is that they predicted something scientifically that we found out later, which is amazing. Sure. How does that show it to be a miracle though? Because again, plenty cultures were doing that. You know what I mean? So they were predicting things that we saw later, and we're not sure how they predicted it. You know what I mean? Like, for example, the Dogon tribe, not even sure if I'm saying that right. The Dogon tribe in Africa, they predicted a star that today we confirmed with telescopes, but back then they knew about it. We have no clue how. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where, yeah, sure, the Quran could predict something, or not the Quran, but the people in the Quran could have said, hey, this is a thing that happens with clouds, and We're not sure how they were able to predict it. They just were. I don't think that necessarily makes it miraculous. They just found out something scientific. You see what I mean?
So there's hadith. Hadith are some sayings that got gathered from the Prophet Muhammad's life. In this hadith, the Prophet Muhammad is described as drinking a drink, not like not just a soup or something. And there is a fly that has landed on inside the pot, like inside the drink. So instead of picking it up, the Prophet Muhammad actually dips that fly down the drink, and then he removes it and tosses it out. So his companions that were around him, they asked why, and he said that if one of you finds a fly lying in his drink, he should do like that. He should dip it and then toss it out, because in one wing of the fly, it contains the
All right, we're gonna go ahead and talk to Kyrie now. Kyrie, how's it going? Give me 1 second. All right. So if you're watching over from the Deconstruction Junction, go ahead and call in. I do see someone that says that atheism is full of hypocrisy and contradictions. Go ahead and call in and tell me what those hypocrisies and contradictions are. I'm not sure what you're talking about. If you're watching over on my channel, Volsy Thoughts, I thank y'all so much. I'm not reading the comments as of now because I can't just see all of them, but appreciate y'all. Keep the chat going. Thank y'all so much for being here. We're going on in about an hour. Just waiting for another phone call, y'all. Just waiting for someone to call in. And if you're watching me over on the Bash channel, the Black Atheist, Skeptics, and Humanist channel, go ahead and call in as well. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. Let's go ahead and talk to Kyrie. Kyrie, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And do you think you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yes, I'm at least 18, and yes, I can give you a good reason to believe in God, but I don't have a specific one in mind.
So you believe in like the deist God, like he just created the universe and like is off, I don't know, being his meat somewhere or something?
Yeah, I would say there is a collective supernatural presence.
A collective supernatural presence. All right, great. Why should I believe that? Like, what evidence is there that's the case, or what does it do for me to believe that?
Okay, so so you said that when you were arguing with other guests, you brought up how multiple different religions had predicted things in advance using God. So every instance of that is evidence of a God.
No, not necessarily. They're just part of their religion. They interpreted their findings through that religion. That doesn't mean that their religion is actually true.
Okay, but that means that there is some truth in their religion.
Not necessarily. Why would there be? I mean, they can't all be right, but they can certainly all be wrong.
All be right in what way?
What I'm saying is that they can't all be right because a lot of them contradict each other. So they can't all be right, but they can certainly all be wrong.
But how, in what way could they all be right?
No, I said they can't all be right. It can't be Oldumare and Vishnu at the same time. That can't be the case.
But it can be. Can they all be right?
No, they can't all be right.
In different ways?
When you say all be right in different ways, what do you mean?
I mean, all be right that there is a God.
Can they all be correct that there is some sort of God? like in the general sense, like a god of like.
Hey, what's good, bro?
Hey, how's it going? Give me 1 second. All right. So can they all be right that there's some sort of supernatural presence? They can probably all be right about like the idea of a supernatural, right? But their particular idea of what that supernatural looks like can't all be right. I would say that.
Okay, so if you're saying that they can all be right, then I don't necessarily need to give you a reason, because like I said, I don't have a specific one in mind.
All right, so you think that there is some sort of supernatural presence?
Yes, that's what I was asking you. Are you saying that God doesn't exist in general?
No, I have no evidence that there's a God, so I don't believe in one.
You have no evidence yet. I just stated all of the evidence you used before.
That's not evidence, bro. People discovering scientific findings and interpreting it that through religions does not mean those religions are true.
It means there's some truth in the religions, though.
How do you show that? How do you know that? Just because they found out something scientific doesn't mean that now there's some truth within the religion. The religion could still be wrong. Like, for example, the Egyptians had algebra. They had mathematics. The Egyptians had a whole bunch of scientific findings. But they also believe. Hold on. Listen. The Egyptians had a whole bunch. They found out a whole bunch of scientific things, right? They even had mathematics. They even had algebra. The Egyptians, right? They also believe that the sun was a dude with an eagle for a head sitting up in his bed. That wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? So just because they had mathematics and they interpreted it through the god Aten doesn't mean that Aten now has some truth to him. It just means that they know what mathematics is.
Are we still using the same mathematics?
Yeah, we're still using the same mathematics. We're just not using hieroglyphics.
So,
but the concept
what's the alternative?
What do you mean, what's the alternative?
If we're still using the same mathematics, and wouldn't the alternative be Scientology? And then Scientology would be the same mathematics they were using?
That's what I'm saying to you. You don't need religion, bro. What I'm saying is that the Egyptians had math. They interpreted them getting that math through the god Aten. Aten isn't real, but the scientific discoveries that they made, yeah, sure, we can still use that mathematics today, but that doesn't mean that the god Aten is real. So there's nothing about, you know, if you were to say that there's something true about the religion because they knew about math, that would be ridiculous, because Aten isn't real. Neither is Anubis. None of these things are real.
So like we're still using the same number system that they were using?
No, they have a completely different number. They had a completely different number system. The number system is completely different.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, their number system was because we use base 10. I think they use base 7, if I'm mistaken. They use a completely different number system. Their number system was different than ours. I know that for sure.
Basic arithmetic, we're still using that.
Right. Our arithmetic is different from their arithmetic.
You just said it was the same.
No, we have the same mathematical principles, but our arithmetic is not the same as their arithmetic. But the principles are still the same. They had division, they had all that. They had division, they had multiplication, they had all that. But they used a different base. We use base 10. They use another base.
Okay. So like, say for example, with like how can you use the same principle? And then what's the alternative if nothing about God is true?
There is no alternative. It's just not true. This is like asking, what's the alternative to Zeus? Like, the Zeus ain't real. I'm saying, like, if we don't believe that lightning comes from Zeus, what's the alternative? There's no alternative. This lightning doesn't come from Zeus. Zeus is a natural process.
But if it's just not real, how can you use the same things that they used?
Because those things do have real effects, but not the supernatural things. You don't need this. You don't need to take the supernatural in to take the real things that they discovered. Right? They discovered how to build a pyramid. Right? They discovered that. We can still use that today. That doesn't mean that we still have to believe that that we have to bury someone in a chamber underground and with all their gold in order for them to transition into the afterlife with all their treasures. We don't have to believe that. But we still could keep the same principles of how to build a pyramid. We can still keep the same principle of how to do that, because that's something real they discovered within architecture. But that doesn't make that the reason why they did it true. We don't have to believe that. Like that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to like. I'm struggling to understand what you mean here. You're saying because they made some discoveries and they interpreted those discoveries through supernatural means. Therefore, we have to keep the supernatural means because we can't use the discoveries anymore. That's kind of dumb. We can still use it. Just the supernatural shit they believe isn't true. Like we still use samurai swords today, right? But you're not Shinto. So it's like, you there, Kyrie? All right, we'll wait for Kyrie a few seconds before he can get back. All right, so if you're watching me once again over on the he dropped. If you're watching me again over on the Deconstruction Junction, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Go ahead and call in if you'd like to call in. Same thing if you're watching me from Volsy Thoughts. If you're watching me from Twitch as well, if you're watching me from Twitch or Facebook, go ahead and call in. Thank y'all so much. We're gonna spend the last few minutes with Kyrie, and then we're gonna move on to Steppa. Beth. Steppa was actually no, it was Beth first, then Steppa. All right, Kyrie. Yeah. So you see what I mean, right? We don't have to use their supernatural beliefs in order to keep the actual things they discovered. Like there's no reason to do that.
So how would you? Well, what about the things we don't know about?
We don't know about them yet. What do you mean? We just don't know them. You don't know what you don't know. Like we haven't discovered things yet, so I'm not sure how I could respond to that. The things that we don't know, we just don't know it yet.
So how would you justify that?
How would I justify what? Something I don't know? If I don't know it, I don't know it, bro. There's nothing to justify. I just don't know it.
But like certain questions about human beings and about life, how would you justify it? Like we know literally almost everything that we could know about basically everything.
No, we don't. We barely scratch the surface.
Well, outside of the ocean.
Yeah, the ocean, deep space, why consciousness does what it does. We still don't know a lot of these things.
But the more we learn about it, the more evidence there is of a God, though.
No, there isn't. The more evidence and discoveries that we make, God becomes less and less necessary.
Less necessary is not the same as existing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. Necessary is not the same as existing. But what I would say is that the more we discover about our world, the less we see something that's supernatural behind it. Like we've never discovered anything. There's nothing about our world that's supernatural explanation. Like there's nothing that we've discovered about our planet, about ourselves, about our like humanity, about the universe. Nothing we've discovered ever had a supernatural explanation behind it. It was all natural explanations, like all of it.
So the formation of the sun, the formation of the moon,
natural explanation, all of it.
And the distance of the sun,
natural explanation.
And the fact that nothing maintains itself without curation.
What do you mean nothing maintains itself without creation? What does that mean?
Not creation, curation.
What does that mean?
Like somebody else maintains it.
What does that mean?
So if you plant a plant, if you don't maintain it, the plant's gonna die.
That depends on the plant.
And the same thing with human beings.
Yeah, but it depends on the plant. If I plant an apple seed in the middle of the forest, it's still gonna grow into an apple tree. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, but it's gonna rain.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's maintaining rain. Are they? There's nothing we need to do to maintain rain. Rain does what it does as a consequence of chemistry and physics. So like nothing needs to be maintained by anything. The nature is going to handle itself. It's humans that need curation.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right, but like, just because example, humans need curation does not necessarily mean that something supernatural. What the hell happened? I have no idea what happened, y'all. He just dropped out of nowhere. I have no idea what happened. All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and move on because it was about the end of that discussion anyway. Thank y'all so much for being here. Oh yeah, I didn't drop him either, so I don't know what that happened or how that happened. But we got 3 more minutes, Kyrie, so we can't stay for long. But all right, he dropped off again. All right, Kay, I'm gonna bring you up in a second. We just got Beth and then Steppa. All right, Beth, we'll talk to you next. I'll go ahead and put the time on the clock. Are you at least 18? And can you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah, I am 18, and I just want to start with, let's talk about how everything started, like the creation, right? So if you look at the creation in like the Big Bang Theory, I believe the Big Bang Theory is basically some type of process happened, because I don't really know the details in, but like a process happened and boom, we had the universe. I know the universe did develop over time. But I generally believe that there had to be a specific, like a catalyst before the Big Bang Theory. Like
yeah,
there had
sure.
to be something.
Yeah, sure. Something had to cause the expansion. Like I think everyone agrees with that, right? The universe expanded from a hot dense state. We all like I think most people agree that something caused that expansion to happen. Now when people say that that the thing that caused it to happen is some supernatural being outside of space and time or some disembodied mind, now you're getting into things that we can't show to be true, so there's no reason to believe it.
Okay, so I'll give you a theoretical, because I don't want to, because I'm a Christian and I don't want to force Christianity on you. So whether you think it's the Christian God or any other God, that's really up to you. But like, I want you to know that there is a God, that there has to be a God. Because
okay, why does it have to be a God, and how do we know it's true? I think you got a call.
Finish, please.
There you go. Yeah. Right. If you swipe out the app, I'm not gonna be able to hear you. All right. So
yeah, I just wanted to let you. Yeah.
Right, so the question
I
got you. So the question I would need to ask is, why does it need to be a God, and then how you know it's true?
Because if the universe has a beginning, it can be self-explanatory. You get what I mean? Like if the universe there was a beginning, then there has to be somebody who's pushing that beginning. You know what I mean?
How you know like somebody and not something?
Something. Okay, somebody or something. It could be anything that is eternal, like something that doesn't have a beginning.
Great. So that's
like something that does not have a beginning.
Gotcha. So that's something that you're.
You don't know that.
Great, but that's something that you're saying. How do you? Is it a willful agent or a natural process that you don't understand yet?
So we're getting to that. So in order for something to have a beginning, there has to be something to push the beginning, which I believe is like when we're talking about the universe.
That is not true. You're putting it.
Can you please let me finish? Can you please let me finish? I'm sorry.
Again, I don't know why you keep on speaking over. As I was saying, you're making a disclosed notion that something has to be doing something. Just like Bosi said, there are natural explanations. You're presupposing that something has to be forcing.
Yeah, I was going to ask that, Beth, if you could clarify for me really quickly. When you say that something had to push it or start it, are you saying that it was willful or simply a natural result of some process that we basically don't understand yet? Which one are you saying? And if you're saying the first one, you will need to actually show how you know that.
Yeah. I feel like it is willful. Because
wait, pause. All right. So now that you think that is willful, why does it have to be willful? And how do you show that to be true?
And by the way, the Bible does not count as evidence. So what we define evidence and what we accept as evidence is demonstrable evidence. If it does not exist, I'm like, no, if you cannot,
I said I was not going to use the Bible.
Okay, fine. Don't use the Bible.
Really logics.
No, that's fine. Don't use the Bible. I got you. That's fine. Don't use the Bible. We can use logic. Let me just say this real quick. All right. So look, we can use logic, Beth. The issue that I'm having here is that logic cannot get you to a willful agent. It's going to get you to a point of something happened, and that's all. That's all you're going to get to. It doesn't get you to a willful agent. You said you believe in a willful agent, but logic can't get you there. Because how do you show, because with you using your same line of logic, I can also say that this is a natural process that we simply don't understand yet. And then you can say it's a willful agent. And then both of us are just looking here with our hands up. How does any of us prove our position? That's what I would say. And you can go ahead. She only cuts you off if we talk at the same time, but she's going to give you time to go ahead and talk, but go ahead. We'll give him that minute to go ahead and say what he got to say. Go ahead, Beth.
So by logical, I meant that I'm not going to say it's a Christian God or I'm not going to say it's the Muslim God. I'm just saying that there is a God. Because think of dominoes. Mm-hmm. Like when you have a stack of dominoes on a line, if you push the first one, it's going to keep falling up to like the 50th one or the 100th one. It's going to fall. Like it's going to fall up to the finish line, right? Okay. But there has to be that action of pushing the domino in order to create that chain reaction.
Right, so what I'm saying you're presupposing it. Again, you're presupposing it.
I'm not supposing it. Like a domino is not gonna fall without you pushing again.
I'm like, listen, you keep on, because you kept on. You just said in the comments that I was interrupting you when I was interjecting because I'm not, and I just let you go on that spiel, and you kept on coming off of me. So as I was going to say, you are presupposing that something is pushing something like a domino. The world is not a domino game. So what I am asking you to do, and what the host is asking you to do, is show demonstrable evidence that there is a supernatural presence that is pushing things to be. So what we define as evidence is demonstrable, meaning that it exists in your five senses. If you cannot see it, touch it, feel it, smell it, etc., exists in the five senses, that you can, that you do not get to use it as evidence. Go.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what I was gonna say, Beth. I understand your analogy, right? But the reason why I don't think it's analogous is because we know that beforehand that dominoes are designed. I do understand your analogy. Someone has to push the domino, right? But we know beforehand that dominoes are designed. We don't know that for the universe. We don't know beforehand that the universe is designed. There's no way that we can show that to be true.
Hello.
So when you say that your first mover has to be a willful agent, we need to get to a point where how can we show that? Because both of us are in the same position. None of us can show that what my hypothesis is that it's a natural process that we don't understand yet, and your hypothesis that it's a willful agent, none of us can show that to be true yet. So we're stuck in a big loop of I don't know. But you're saying yours is definitely right, and I'm asking you, how did you get there? Because logic can get to my conclusion, and it can get to your conclusion. So how did you eliminate mine? Right. That's what I'm. Hold on. Right. But let me just clarify this last question. My last question is, how did you get to the point where you eliminated my position that it cannot be a natural process? It has to be a willful agent. How did you do that? Because logic is not going to get us there.
Okay. Do you? My analogy for the dominoes is because I believe that the universe has a beginning and the universe will eventually have an end. Okay. Do you believe that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I asked a question. Do you believe the universe has an end? Like the universe will come to a point where it's
I'm not sure.
Finished.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
okay, you're not sure.
Also, here's the thing that he's like, he keeps on repeating the same thing. Mm-hmm. We know what he's doing.
I'm just trying to clarify my analogy. I'm sorry.
It's all good. But the thing is, like, it's not like you were repeating it. We understand what you're saying, right? We get it. What we're getting is to the end.
You asked me the question, so I was just trying to find a way to answer it.
I got you. Let me just repeat what I'm trying to ask, right? we're trying to get to we get the beginning, right? We get that you think the universe had a beginning, et cetera, et cetera. We get that part. What we're trying to say is that there's two positions here, right? Two hypotheses. My hypothesis is that it's a natural process that we can't yet explain. Your hypothesis is that it's a willful agent, and you're saying yours is definitely right. Mine is incorrect for some reason, and I'm saying that. How did you eliminate my position? Because if we just use logic, the logic train, these are the two positions we get to. One of them is right.
Yeah, I was
right.
about to answer that question.
I got you. Hold on, wait, I got you. One of them is right, or neither of them are right. We don't know. But my question then becomes is how did you eliminate one and have the other? What did you do? That's what I'm trying to ask.
All right. So yeah, I want to address this when you say there's no evidence to think that it would come to an end. The sun will eventually die. It is literally facts. Like you guys go to science, the sun will die and the earth will come to an end where it dies. So I believe because of that logic, then because of that logic, the universe will come to an end. I might be wrong though. I don't really know it from that. Okay. But let me answer Vosi's question. So because in my judgment, because the universe has a beginning and an end, I believe that there has to be something that doesn't have a beginning and the end in order to govern the universe. Like in order for it to exist,
keep on repeating the same exact thing.
Oh my days! Can you at least let me finish? Because I'm running on the timer, and if you keep like cutting me out,
I've been letting you speak. Hold on.
Yeah, but
I've been letting you speak. I'm not just going to let you keep on talking in a circle, though. Because you're not getting to the question that the host is asking you. The question on the panel is how did you eliminate his position? Yours about the beginning of the universe. His is that it is a natural process. Yours is a supernatural agent. How did you eliminate his hypothesis to get to yours? That is the question on the background. Can you address it directly? Stop the filibustering.
I just want to make sure Beth understands my question. Beth, you understood what my question is, right?
Yeah, I understood your question, and I was about to answer that.
All good.
I'm just using the analogy I used. Yeah.
All good. So how did you eliminate one position over another? What would you say?
Because you're saying that the universe happened because it was supposed to happen, and basically what you're saying is the universe existed because there was a need for the existence. So I pose the question: why do you think?
Yeah, that's not what I said.
Okay, why do you believe? What do you believe? What do you believe?
The universe, as far as what we see, the universe expanded from a hot dense state, and what the hot dense state was, where it came from, what it even is, we're still not sure yet. We literally have no clue. You know what I mean? So but we all know that space time was compacted into this little state of whatever it was, and that's where the universe expanded from. What caused that expansion is something that we don't know. So I'm at the point where.
So the question on the
panel. There's a possibility where.
I want you to get to his question. Right? Because he explained to you the background of his question. His question is, how do you eliminate his process? His thought process that the origin is a natural process, such as the Earth, the universe being created from a hot, dense state, and that being a result of a natural process, versus your belief that it was a supernatural agent. You are not addressing the point and answering the question.
Right. That's what the point we have to get to. How did you eliminate one from the other?
Yeah, I eliminated because by your logic, today, I'm not saying it will, but today there could be a new universe that forms right now.
Correct.
That's by your logic. Yeah, by your logic, you mean by today another universe could form
right now. Correct.
If you look at it, then it kind of
because Beth, we don't know if this is the only universe, do we? We don't know that. This is a universe that we exist in, but we don't know if this is actually the only universe. We don't know that.
We still don't even know if there's life on other planets.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't even know that.
Hey, give me 1 second, Beth. Stay on the panel, but Stepa has been patient, and so has everybody else. I just want to go ahead and get to the others, and y'all, we got 30 more minutes before I get out of here. Okay, so Stepa, I'm gonna go with you first, and I'm gonna go around the panel just to get everybody's position, so we're all clear. Stepa, it says that you Stepa for God, so are you over 18?
Yes. Yes.
Are you any type of Christian, Muslim, or just believe in a general type of God?
Yeah, Christian.
Gotcha. All right, give me 1 second. Jay, yeah, Jay. Jay, are you at least 18? Any type of God believer?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not a God believer, but I'm over 18.
Okay, gotcha. How about
you're atheist, agnostic?
Yeah, I'm atheist. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, great.
No problem. And Peace, are you at least 18? Any type of God believer? Spread Peace, you there? All right, Guy Jones, are you at least 18 and you're any type of God believer?
Yes, sir. I'm a Christian.
All right, great, not a problem. Let's go ahead and speak to Stepa real quick. Beth, go ahead and come back anytime that you like. I know you said you got to go to work right now. I'm going to go ahead and drop you because I don't want you to be late.
By the way, Beth, if that was the thing that was your situation, that you had to go to work there, so you should have used your time wisely and not keep on repeating yourself. So the next time that you come up here, my suggestion is that when the host asks you questions, that you answer the questions directly instead of wasting your time by repeating the same thing over and over again.
Do appreciate you for being up here, though, Beth. All right. All good. All right. So, hey, Guy, can you just mute for me really quickly? I can hear your background bit. Thank you so much. All right, Stepa, how's it going? You said you're over. You are 18. You said that you are a Christian. Do you think give us a good reason to believe in a God? Myself, K, and J.
Yeah. How you doing? So let me just ask a couple questions. So in your opinion, is man above God or more powerful than God?
I don't think a God exists.
Yeah, I know, but so right. So even in your reality though, even as you step outside, there are believers.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's happening in your reality. So I'm just saying, with that being said though, like, is man above or man more powerful than said God?
That's like asking me, is man more powerful than unicorns? I don't think these things exist. So I'm not sure how to answer that. Like, is man more powerful than Voldemort? Like Voldemort doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not sure how to answer your question. I know people believe in it, but I don't think it exists. So I can't answer you saying that we're more powerful than, this presentation that you make. I guess if Voldemort was real, no, we wouldn't be more powerful than Voldemort. But
so you're saying, okay, so God isn't. I heard you say this. The God isn't necessary.
Right. For any explanation that we have towards the universe, anything that we know about how the universe works or operates, a God isn't necessary for any of it.
So, but man is.
No, we're not. What do you like? Man is not necessary. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Man is not necessary to make rain or earthquakes happen. So they just happen.
Responsible for the world, like how the world came about. What we see today.
Stepa,
no, because that happened before Homo sapiens even existed.
About. Yeah, exactly. Like hurricanes were happening before humans were here, right? So we're not responsible for hurricanes.
Right. What I'm saying, well,
we are a little bit, yeah. But yeah.
Well, the Bible says that rain wasn't here before, but okay.
Yeah, the Bible is wrong.
The Bible is not. It's not a scientific book. It's not a book.
I guess what my contention is that so you guys are so fixated on that we have to prove the Bible is right, like show evidence.
Yes, you. I'm like, yes,
Correct.
you do. If you want to be, if you want to be on, if you want to make sure that the things that you believe in are honest and true, then yes, you should have to prove that it's it's true. Number one.
There's people who existed in the Roman Empire around the same time as Jesus Christ. You got Pontius Pilate.
I'm like, irrelevant because that doesn't prove that he was the Son of God, and it does not prove that a God.
No, it's his existence. You know, so
no.
Okay,
I'm like, you are.
I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Stepper, let me just clear something up.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Kay. I'm sorry. Let me just clear something up for Stepper real quick. All right, so Stepper, we understand that there were people who existed at the same time of Jesus. We get that, right? We also understand that was Jesus even a real person? Sure, that could be the case that Jesus was a real person. At least that's what scholars agreed with, right? Sure, he could have been a real guy. All that is good and well. That doesn't mean that he had magic powers. Okay?
It does not mean that he was the Son of God.
He still could have had magic powers. It still doesn't grant the proposition of a God existing.
But hold on,
that's actually true. Even if he did have magic powers, that wouldn't show that a God existed.
We don't even have evidence that he does.
I would like to get to my contention though. Okay, so
cool.
because like.
But you understand why my clarification where I'm coming from now, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm not ignorant, man. Like, you know. Okay, so like I said, you guys you always push this evidence. Okay, so you know any religion is based off faith. Mm-hmm. You know that it's based off faith.
And I'm like, and that's an incorrect way to go about things. I'm like, you do not go to your doctor based off of faith. You go with them that they have the knowledge to heal you and have the knowledge to treat whatever you're going in there for.
Well,
and they have that knowledge because they went to school. Hold on, Stephen. They went to school. They went to a medical school to be trained to have that knowledge to be able to treat you for wherever they are going in. In no other part of life do y'all go based off of faith. It is only this. And I know that to be true because you wouldn't be sitting here if you went by faith alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want Stepper to go ahead and finish that. So you were saying that all these are based off of faith. Yeah, sure. We don't think that faith is a virtue, but go ahead and just complete the sentence so I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, so it's right. The religion is based off of faith. So if I'm saying, like, okay, it would be more impressive if y'all was able to replicate the miraculous events that happened in the Bible. To say,
how is that relevant?
Hold on.
That's relevant either.
Hold on.
No, go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Stepper. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Stepper. Go ahead.
To say, like, okay, look what we have done. Mm-hmm. We have replicated God's will. You understand what I'm saying? So hold on. So so it's 450 to 500 million of y'all, right? So, and I just word with me here. So $1 each from what y'all would be enough to create a device that would replicate the parting of the Red Sea, right? So hold on. I want. You don't even have to do end to end. You don't even have to do end to end. You could do the link.
Okay, I'm okay.
Stepper,
my brain is having
my brain hurts. Stepper, listen,
bro.
I
need a break.
Yeah, I need a break. All right, Stepper, listen, bro. While we have to do that, we will need to actually show these stories to be true first, right? Like the parting of the Red Sea is something that happens in the Bible. That doesn't mean that it's true. So why would we have to replicate it?
But this is the thing that it bothers y'all so much.
Stop. It's not about bothering us. We cannot show it to be true. And hold on, Stepper. Wait, let's Stepper. We cannot show it to. Yeah, I got your piece. I got your piece.
Can I talk after?
Actually, is Guy Jones after you? Guy Jones. I got you, Guy Jones. Give me a second. So, Stepper, listen. We understand that it's in the Bible. You think that is true, but we cannot actually show it to be true. And the reason why we talk about it is because it affects our daily lives, right? There are people who are trying to force the 10 Commandments into schools, trying to force everybody to read the Bible, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? Christian nationalism.
People are being oppressed based off of your religion. And for example, the LGBTQ community, where your is the institution of your faith that says that their sexual orientation is an abomination. So you don't get to see.
That's a different topic, though. That's a different conversation.
No, but step. The reason why
it goes directly to your religion.
Is that and the reason why it goes directly to that step is because you said that we're bothered by it. No one would be bothered if it was just kept private or even if they had a large community of it. Like, look at DreamCon this year, those 40,000 people there. No one minds that, right? But if you start making policy decisions off of DreamCon, if you're going to say every Saturday I have to dress up as Goku, I'm going to have a problem with that, aren't I? You see what I'm saying? So it's like these are the reasons why we talk about these things. It's not about us being bothered.
Like, for example, when y'all are going into politics and saying that women cannot get an AB because y'all based on things are not in the Bible anyway, but that's irrelevant. Based off Christian doctrine. That you are impacting the lives of others, not just the people in your religion. Yes, we absolutely should talk about it.
What are you talking about? The homosexuality?
No, that's only one portion of it. I'm also talking about women. I can't say the word on TikTok. Okay, I'm like ABORTION. I can't say it on TikTok.
I'll look out for it. I'll look out for his live, and we could talk about that at a different time. But I just want to talk about where was that? Okay, so if I hand you the Bible and I say, okay, 2.6 billion other people affirm these events in this Bible. So hold on, is stem cell research impressive to you?
Yes, of course. Look, listen, Steppa, 2.5 billion people.
Things that get scientifically proven. Your God isn't.
Yeah. So Steppa, like 2.5. Steppa, hold on. Let me answer your question. 2.5 billion people believing something doesn't make it true, bro. That's what we're trying to get to. You can't say, hold on, Steppa. Hold on. You can't simply say a lot of people believe this, therefore you have to go ahead and part the Red Sea. No, the fuck we don't. Just because they believe it. Hold on. Just because they believe it doesn't mean that it's true, because guess what? 2 billion people also are Muslims and believe that that Muhammad split the moon in half. Do you think that that is going to be fair for them to say, "Oh, go ahead and
Muslims
split the moon like Muhammad"?
Muslims don't believe that.
Hold on. Why is he talking?
Hold on, Fred. You'll get your turn.
You see how you just kind of made a mistake there, because now you just added more numbers, because Islam affirms Jesus' existence. So now that's even more.
No one said that's not the conversation. No one said that he did it. They don't believe he's the son of God, though. So that's irrelevant.
Here's okay.
Listen. This is not the what I'm talking about, man. Yes, Muslims think that Jesus existed. That's fine. They also think that he did miracles. That's fine. That doesn't mean he actually did it. You will need to show that first. A lot of people believing something doesn't make it true. That's what I'm saying, Steppa.
I'm like, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that
you said you were impressed by stem cell.
There is a lot of people that believe that the 2020 election was rigged. Does that make that a factual statement?
Okay, and you said that you were impressed by stem cell research. Another thing,
I'm like, your God, stem cell research is being done, and it is done by scientists that are studying things. Your God is not the same as stem cell research.
I respect the moderator. I just want to talk, because I'm gonna drop down real quick. I
got you, but Steppa, I'm getting really confused here. What does stem cell research have to do with anything?
You saying? Yeah, because you're saying you're impressed by it. So why hasn't man been able to take another man's rib and create a female?
Because it's impossible.
I'm so glad that you asked that. because men's rib did not create females. Males are a mutation of females. That's why they can't do it.
Or why haven't
unlike what your Bible believes, science has already proven that is not true because men are a mutation of women.
All right, hold on, step. Stop. I'm getting ahead of here because you keep asking a question, you're ignoring our response. Every time we respond to something, you say, "Oh, how about like stop doing that?" Listen, stop. Stop.
No, that's not.
Be quiet for a second, man.
Going in circles.
Hold on. Everybody pause. Steppa, listen. The reason why men hasn't gotten a rib and make a female is because it's bullshit. That's not possible. I understand that the Bible says so. The Bible is wrong. You can't make a human. Hold on, Steppa, stop. You can't make a human out of a rib. You can't do that. That's not possible. You definitely can't make a female from a male rib. That's not possible because of the chromosomes. Because the Y chromosome that we have is a mutation of the X chromosome. It's a broken X. You know what I'm saying? So it's not gonna be possible.
You see how you said, hold on, why is Jay talking, bro? Shut up, bro.
I'm just trying to say, to play devil's advocate for the whole rib thing.
It's okay.
To play devil's advocate for the whole rib thing is like, for the rib creation story.
I'm not being muted.
Well, I'm just saying.
Because you keep on coming off of mute when people are trying to bring.
Why is he talking during my time though?
Everybody pause. Everybody pause, please.
Call from
Frank. All right, Frank, please hold for me. I'll be right back with you. Thank you so much. All right. So, yeah. So Steppa, we're about to move on.
No, hold on. You see, I got one more question.
But Steppa, I need you to actually address.
Steppa, you had a lot of time.
Yeah, a lot of time. We need you to actually address what we actually said here. Okay, you cannot make a human, or especially a female human, from a male rib. That's not possible. Adam and Eve is bullshit. You understand
you see
that?
How
right?
You just said it's only BS. You see how I could say that your standpoints are just BS. You know.
No.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to Guy Jones. Yeah.
I'm like, no, you cannot. But here's the thing I want to say before. Hold on, Guy Jones. Just one.
Oh, we're doing well.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. You cannot say. Before we go, I just want to say this. You cannot say that what Devosi said is BS because what he said is an observable scientific fact. You cannot say that is BS. What is BS is you believing that a male rib can create a woman or can create any human, but especially a female human. You are dumb.
Yeah, science isn't propaganda. You're just stupid. Anyway, Guy Jones, how's it going, Guy Jones? We're gonna go ahead and put 15 minutes on the clock for you as well. Are you at least? No problem. Are you at least 18? Or actually, you're gonna answer this question. Yeah, you said that you were a Christian. All right, great.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think we should believe in that God?
Well, can I just start from God in general?
Yeah, sure.
And I'll work my way up to that.
No, I'm all good. And J and K is gonna take this one because I've been talking for a while. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I would just say like, I'm a new Christian. Really, I've been a while, and then I sort of came to Christianity. I guess the reason I came to Christianity was just because of the historical evidence. I mean, evidence and proof are not the same. So I'm not gonna say that God is 100% real, but in my heart of hearts, I believe in God. Mm-hmm. But I would say that the evidence of Jesus Christ, like documents from antiquity and dates lining up and cross-referencing. Is like I get the Tanakh where they ridicule Jesus, talk crap about him. It just shows that he was a real person, even though they didn't believe in him. They didn't believe him as a Messiah, but they believed him as a person. So at least they granted his existence. I would say that just from that little mustard seed of evidence sort of sparked my interest, and I was able to, look at the teachings. I started reading the Gospels first and sort of like moved me to tears a little bit. It's just like there's some powerful stuff in there. And now, like, to see why I believe in God, like, beyond Christianity, I would just say, like, the cosmological argument, like, like the first mover effect, like the guy was saying, he was trying to put together like a row of dominoes. There has to be, in all of nature, a result comes from a cause. And that first mover of the Big Bang or matter coming into existence would be a source, which that source being God, which I believe personally. And
why couldn't
also
the source be the
fine-tuning
universe?
the universe to complexity.
Let
Hold
me finish, Jay.
Because
let him finish, and then we're gonna go in.
right. Because I mean, it could be. Again, I'm not saying anything definitively, but it would be like a recursion, like an infinite recursion, where it's just the universe, the universe, the universe, the universe. I mean, the idea of God is that he is the end all be all. He is the one beyond space and time. So he would be the starting source of all matter. That's just the idea. But
it's an
also,
idea that can't be proven, though.
Okay.
Right, it can't be proven, but we have evidence. Like,
gotcha. Hold on. Yeah. So let's do. So your two reasons. You look at the Gospels and the historical existence of Jesus, and the Gospels was some powerful stuff, et cetera, et cetera. And then you said just a God in general, the cosmological argument, something had to start off the universe. Cool. When it comes to the Gospels, and I'm gonna let Jay and Kay go. Jay, I'm gonna let you go. Just give me 1 second. I just want to respond to this, and I'm gonna let you go. All right, Jay. Thank you so much. All right. So when it comes to the Gospels, right, I don't have an issue with Jesus existing. The issue is, does he actually have the supernatural powers? And the story in the Gospels being an entertaining story, or even being a powerful story, or an emotional moving story, does not mean that he actually healed the blind, walked on water, died for 3 days, and then flew to the sky like Superman. Doesn't mean any of that. You see what I'm saying? Even if he was a real person,
that's true.
Yeah, even if he was a real person, it doesn't mean that. So I'm kind of struggling on how you got that leap where his story was moving, therefore him having powers must be true. That's I don't get how you got there, but I'm not in your shoes.
Well,
but the cosmological, I got you. But the cosmological argument, I would say that when it comes to that, right? As I was telling the person before that you said that was also saying the same thing. It can only get us to the point of something had to spark the expansion. Something had to spark it. I don't even disagree with you there, right? But I don't make the leap that it had to be a willful agent. All right, but that's just me. I'm gonna go ahead and let Jay answer this. You can go ahead and respond to me, and Jay will respond to that. All right, go ahead and what you were going to say.
I was just going to say, like, the reason why I sort of lean towards believing in, the miraculous events that happened was because the first apostles were willing to get themselves murdered for that belief. And
you can't say that word on TikTok.
Yeah, say unalive.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My apologies. Sorry.
I'm like, we love the TikTok, Sarah.
Yeah. And I would just say, like, strong evidence, in my opinion, is the fact that the conviction of the original apostles and their belief that, or the belief that they saw, they said that they witnessed Jesus rise or resurrect from his crucifixion.
Gotcha.
And that, sort of started a chain reaction that blew up around the entire world, went to Africa, Europe, all around the world. And it's like, I don't know if that's just like the biggest lie of all time, or if these guys really saw something. And, it was around 500 people.
Not only is it the biggest lie of all time, it's the biggest scam of all time.
I
think Jay had teachings from it, though. I don't see anything bad. Positive for the world.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, because I think Jay.
Disagree.
No, yeah, we're gonna get into that, guys. But I think Jay has been patient. We'll get into that. But Jay had something that he wanted to respond to. Jay, can you go ahead?
Oh, I was critiquing him talking about the cosmological argument. I mean, if you're talking about Kalam's cosmological, we can talk about that. But then you were talking about fine-tuning and also the whole thing of what caused the Big Bang, etc. But I don't see how that is relevant to like the universe's existence.
Okay. Oh, so you wanted to get inside the Kalam stuff. Let me just go with the let me just respond to the whole, the apostles died for it. When it comes to the whole 500 thing, that only comes from Paul. We have no idea who those 500 people are. He could literally just be making it up. We have no reference to those 500 people. But like, I would also say that people die for their beliefs all the time. Like, look at, the Jim Jones cult. Yeah, I mean, they all thought that he did miracles too. Like there's records from them saying that he did miracles and they died for him. You know what I'm saying? But we know that Jim Jones was a megalomaniac. I think when it comes to Christianity, it is something like a social club that just became super popular, and we've been dealing for the fall for 2,000 years. But I just on that one, I want you and Jay to talk about the Kalam. Jay, go ahead and keep going with your Kalam critique if you would like. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know if he was particularly running the Kalam. He just is cosmological. But...
Oh, yeah. It could be something different. Guy, was it the Kalam or was it something different, still regular cosmological?
Just the regular.
The regular cosmological. Okay, go ahead,
I'm not
Jay.
familiar with the Kalam.
Which would be what for the existence of a god?
I would say there has to be initiator for all matter, like the Big Bang, like what sparked the Big Bang.
Oh, first mover.
What do you think the Big Bang is?
From what vague knowledge I know, I'm not really well read in physics, but it's the expansion of the universe, tight ball expanding, and
granted, obviously it's not obviously your fault for like not understanding it fully, because obviously most people aren't as well versed within cosmology as I think that they should be when talking about the Big Bang. But clearly, simply put, the Big Bang is just the expansion of space within the universe. It's got nothing to do with a ball or the universe being shrunk, etc. So, like, at the end of the day, it talks about the expansion of space, but then see, how is this relevant to the existence of the universe as a whole?
Because isn't the Big Bang the reason for the universe existing?
No, there's no evidence to suggest that.
So
like
then
the universe could have. There's no evidence to suggest that time and space didn't exist before the Big Bang.
I mean, it could have. But I guess what I would say is that
there are certain limitations and problems with positing that the space and time began. But I mean, apart from that, you said that what would be the other option if the universe did exist, did start to exist? You said that it would have to be that way because of an infinite regress.
Eternal, or there was something eternal with the universe.
Right. So if the universe was eternal, is there a problem?
I'm not.
Guy, you're going out.
You're lagging a little bit. Yeah.
It just makes more sense to me that something, because the laws of nature, the result comes from a cause. You know, there's always a source to something.
Right. A result comes from a cause, but then why would if a result comes from a cause? Okay, that's the causality principle, right? An effect comes from a cause, but then why do you posit that the universe is an effect?
I just, because of the Big Bang, I've always learned that the Big Bang was the start.
Right, but if the Big Bang doesn't have anything to do with the beginning of the universe, or even shows any evidence towards the universe having a beginning, then that's irrelevant. So now, why do you think the universe has a beginning?
Well, I personally think it does, but I mean, it could be either way. We have no definitive proof of either or.
Yeah, but fine. But this is irrelevant whether we have definitive proof of either or. The whole point is which side has more evidence and more justification for thinking it's true, right? And so you're saying the universe has a beginning, but then what's the evidence for that?
I would say, I guess the universe is still expanding, right?
Okay, but what's the expansion? What's the expansion? Yeah, the expansion has to have a starting point.
The expansion.
Where's the evidence that the universe has to have the starting point? You're synonymizing the expansion with the existence itself.
I never actually thought of that.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's a good point, but it's, at the end of the day, it's like none of us can actually prove which one
Okay,
is
no, but
correct.
okay, but look, this is, you can't just say, I think a God exists. I think the universe has a beginning, right? And then when you don't have a justification for that,
All
you
right,
then
I got
result to
something
saying,
else for you.
well, I can't prove it, you can't prove it, so there's no point. So then why are you coming up to discuss it if you're just going to keep falling back to saying, I can't prove it, you can't prove it, blah, 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 blah.
Because some physicist, I'm not sure who it was, he was an atheist, and he with this analogy, he's right. A car is pretty good. You assume,
oof.
You see the human eye. The human eye is pretty complicated, but yet you don't think there's a manufacturer behind DNA or the human eye or anything like that.
Right. So you're saying that complexity.
The DNA.
So now your argument is complexity derives a creator. Is that it?
Yes. That's
okay.
Oof, guy, you need to get somewhere better, man. And we're about to run out of time with you as well. So you got to get to a better area. Hey, guy, do me a favor, all right? Both Jay and Guy, both you guys, definitely come back tomorrow because we gotta drop Guy for now because Peace has to go and I gotta go too soon. But Guy, you're kind of in a bad area, so we got to go ahead and drop you for now. But definitely come back, all right?
By the way, folks, and when you go live tomorrow, I will officially be 29.
Hell yeah. Hell fuck yeah. Hell yeah. And I'm gonna be 10 years older than you in August. God, I'm old. Jesus Christ. I'm old. I'm so old. But I'm still beautiful, still got the nice melanin, and I got the head like a driving movie theater. So
yeah, because my birthday is literally tomorrow.
Awesome. Dope.
Like my birthday is literally in
give me 1 second, guys, because
like in 3 hours. 2-3 hours.
Give me 1 second, guys. God, I did have somebody on hold for like 10 minutes. All right. So, hey, Frank, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just on TikTok right now. There are people who are talking. I'm not sure if you can even hear them, but I'll put you on hold for that reason. Keep on holding on for me, all right? Because you're not gonna be able to hear them. You're just gonna be able to hear me. But I'll be right back with you.
That's cool. That's cool. I just wanted to make just a quick.
Oh yeah, you can say something quick before I get to my last person. Go ahead.
All right, so it's quite simple. It's about a lot of when stuff has been put in your mind, it's hard to change it once you start believing it, right? Me myself, I grew up in the church. I grew up as a Christian, but as I got older, I just wanted to study and know more of what was going on, right? Mm-hmm. So it's quite simple. It's almost like plagiarism in a way, right? If I make a character, and then you turn around and make a character and just name it something different, it's basically plagiarism. You know what I'm saying? Except for on a spiritual point of view, don't nobody want to believe it. It's clear that Jesus comes from another story.
Yeah.
If you trace, I asked someone, like, my thing was, why does Christianity's God is the only God that doesn't have a name, right? And then so someone told me Elohim or Yahweh. Okay, if you search the name of Yahweh, then you would see that the basis of those names come from two gods that the Egyptian god Amun made. All religion based on Christianity comes from ancient Egypt. You don't have to take my word on it. All you have to do is just research it and study.
I wouldn't doubt it.
When the Romans, Julius Caesar basically worshipped the same God that the ancient Egyptians did. That's why we have the Zeus and Apollo and all that, because they believe so much into what they saw.
Zeus and Apollo are great.
Egyptian God being able to do.
Not Egyptian.
They try to mimic it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
But it all comes from.
Yeah, it all comes from the same thing. Gotcha. Hey, but I got you. All right, so Frank, definitely call. I'm calling next time. We'll definitely do more. You can join me on TikTok as well, and one day I'm gonna have this all fixed so you can hear my TikTok callers. I'm gonna drop you for now, but definitely come on back. All right, brother?
Yeah, that's cool, bro.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Sorry I had you on hold for so long. Thank you, but thank you though. All right, I do apologize. I had him on hold for so long. I thought he was an op. Do apologize for that. But hey, Spread Peace, you're gonna be our last person. Definitely appreciate you being here and being patient. Thank you so much, Spread Peace. You said that you were over 18, and I think, did you say that you were a Christian or a Muslim? I think you're a Muslim, right?
No, I am a Muslim. Yes.
Muslim. Okay, cool. All right, Spread Peace. You're going to be our last caller for today. Caddy, you can go ahead and come up as well. And God's favorite, you can also come up if you would like to come up. All right, Spread Peace. You said that you are a Muslim.
I'm answering the main prompt.
Yeah, sure.
Can you give me a good reason? Okay.
Believe in God. Go ahead.
So the prompt was, can you give me a good reason to believe in your God?
Mm-hmm.
So as you know, an application or an app has thousands of lines of code, don't you know?
Mm-hmm.
So the universe has billions. Gravity, physics, atoms, all perfectly aligned with zero errors. Science tells me how it works, but not why it exists or why it is so flawless. If a single constant was off, everything would collapse. Don't you think that's engineered, the universe? And whatever the engineer, so as you know, if it is an engineer, that means that's God. You know? That's my reason why I believe in God. So it's like a fully engineered system, you know.
So yeah. What do you compare the universe to determine whether it's perfect or not?
What do you mean? I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
So you said the universe exists perfectly, such as how it exists, the things that exist within it. What do you compare the universe to determine that it's perfect in its existence?
For example, our Earth, our planet.
You compare the universe to the Earth?
No, not that. I'm just giving you a mind example.
Then what do you compare it to?
There are other universes, but I'm just talking about the mind example.
There are other universes.
Yes, but I'm giving you a mind example.
What are these conditions of these other universes?
Wait, do you believe that there are other universes other than the Milky Way?
No, I don't. The Milky Way isn't a universe. What are you talking about?
Not the universe. I'm talking about the galaxy in general.
So why is the Milky Way perfect, but other galaxies aren't perfect?
I'm sorry. Pause real quick. All right. So this is what we're trying to get to, Spread Peace, because you said that the way that our universe exists, that it's perfect and it's engineered. What Jay is asking is, like, how did you determine that? Because we've only been able to explore this universe, and not only have we been able to explore this universe, we've only been able to explore this solar system. We haven't left the solar system yet, and we've only been able to explore this planet. You see what I'm saying? So how did you determine that this is perfect and another one isn't? Because you only have a sample size of one. There's no other sample size. So how can you make the determination that this one is perfect and another one isn't? This one is made for us and another one isn't. How do you do that with only a sample size of one?
Oh, no, I'm not talking about another one. You guys are asking me the comparison. I'm just talking about the one we are currently in.
Right. And exactly what we're saying is that how did you? I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm just to clear it up. What we're saying is that how did you make that determination without a comparison? That's what we're trying to say. Go ahead, everybody else.
Yeah, don't you see how?
Just
like,
real quick, Habibi.
Yeah.
In order for you to say marhaba, in order for you to say it's perfect, you would necessarily have to have a frame of reference, right?
Oh, okay.
Right, like
okay. Yes.
If I have a test, I have 100 out of 100, then I can say it's perfect, correct?
Yes.
But if I don't have, I have to know that the test has 100 points.
Ooh, say you're a little in the matrix.
What is? Got you. You guys comparison. Got it. I think you got the point.
Yeah, go ahead, Spread.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I don't have a comparison to say it's perfect, but as you could see how gravity, physics, atoms are all perfectly aligned to make sure that everything is how the planet's all moving.
But Spread Peace, the whole point, right, is you're saying these things are perfect, right? And saying that, if something was off, if gravity was a little bit weaker, if gravity was a little bit stronger, then the universe would collapse, etc., etc. But you're not actually talking about how it's perfect or not. In fact, you're just referencing the structure and how it exists, right? That's like me saying, if I cut off the leg of a chair and the chair falls, then when the chair had all of its legs, it was perfectly standing, right? So the use of perfect is an incorrect description. You're in fact just critiquing the structure of the universe. What we're asking is, why would you think that if you change the structure, because the universe exists in a certain way, that therefore God must have caused it?
Okay, so don't you see that that how the universe, like, it's operating? Don't you see that it's like,
so Habibi, that's
like,
what he was trying to explain to you. Maybe this is a better way. So this is called a sharpshooter fallacy. Okay, you know what a logical fallacy is?
Yes, continue.
Okay, so imagine I take a bow and I shoot my arrow. Okay, and then I draw the circle, the target around the arrow, and I say, look, it's perfect. I meant to exactly land it where it landed. You understand?
Yes.
So you're looking at the conditions as they are and then saying backward, oh, this must be the way it was supposed to be, therefore it's perfect. Instead of, this is how it came to be.
A reference.
Yeah, like you don't have any reason to say that this was the cause, this was the purpose, this was the goal. You're just saying it after the fact. You're just coming across something and then you're looking at it and then you're like, this was perfect. This was designed to be this way. But you don't have any reason to say that. You understand, Khabib?
Yeah, okay, now I understand. But like, what I don't understand about, like, how you guys don't believe in God, like, in general, where do you think...
I got you on this one. Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala perfect?
Of course, God is perfect. That's why I tell myself. Yeah.
So perfection, we can say, is defined as like this. There's no improvements to be made. Sorry if I'm yelling. I'm like on my.
It's okay. It's okay.
Sure, I'm being audible. So, perfection is I have 100 out of 100, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then that means there is no more room for me to improve, right? I'm already at the highest state possible, correct?
No, we're talking about Allah being perfect, not you. So if
I understand, just it doesn't matter.
He's posing an analogies, Fred.
Okay. Continue.
It doesn't matter who. I'm saying perfection itself means the highest state possible. There's no room for improvements. There's no room for advancements. There's no room for changing it whatsoever. I've already got the best possible maximal state of being. Would you agree?
Yes, you don't need to improve if you're perfect.
Exactly.
Yes.
If you do improve, if you make a change, that means you weren't perfect. That means there was still room for change.
Yes.
Okay. Then how could Allah have created anything? Because that means he wasn't perfect before. And now maybe after he created, now he's perfect. He had a 99 out of 100. Now he made one more thing. He got 100 points. Sure. But before creation, you can't say he was perfect. Was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always perfect?
Yes. That's what I
Then it's
think.
not possible. Then
Why
it's
would
not
it not
possible.
Be possible?
It's not. I just. Never mind. You guys can take over. I just explained it to you, but okay. Maybe someone else.
I think I missed it. I'm not sure.
Jay Caddy, do you want to go and explain it to expand upon Saint Saf's point?
You know, I come from a tradition of Shaktism, but I also understand the atheist non-dualist position as well. In truth, you know, you could say it's all matter of mind, and you can say there is a soul because there is an experiencer that is experiencing. I think a lot of people, they get huge egos when they start saying that their truth is the truth and the only truth. And that's because that is within the nature of their subjective reality experience. But when we actually look at the mind itself, the mind gravitates toward the natures of forms. It assigns things. It wants to map. It wants to navigate. It wants to do those things. That is the nature of a sentient mind. But in the sense of physics, in physics, there's no such thing as no thing. And there's an interconnected relationship with you and all the phenomena.
Can I join this?
All the
We have a bald-headed queer host here.
What the fuck? I don't think Habibi will understand all the stuff that you're talking about if maybe somebody wants to keep it a little bit more rooted and grounded to.
Sorry, I went too advanced. You're probably right.
Yeah. I mean, that's some like that's dharma sanatana, right? So he's not gonna remember he's a. So I don't know. Maybe if somebody could press upon the whole point that perfection implies that a lack of change. It's not possible for a perfect being to do anything. But is he here? Is he gone?
No, he's still here. I think he's just on Teacup. But guys,
to that point, real quick, Blossy, I want to say that there's no consensus within the scientific community between in the infinite models versus the finite models, and those are two things that have two different camps within science with no consensus. Though we lean toward, as Westerners, the finite model. It's not proven that it's not an infinite model. So when you say, oh, there must be a reason for everything, it's equally valid to say it is what it is and always has been.
But then that's not really equally as valid. I mean, you can say that
people want to have a purpose. That's why they want finite notions. They want to have a purpose. They want to have a reason.
But then also the whole. I mean, that might be some reasons to some people, but the whole point is, to some people, explanatory factors is what is more parsimonious with the reality rather than constant brute facts everywhere, right? If you posit bruteness for all as justifications for everything, then you don't really have any explanation value for reality. The whole point, right, is people reach a wall, such as what caused the universe, why things exist, etc., to where people either posit a necessary God that exists or a bruteness to where things exist, such as or you can even hold a brute contingent universe. Either way, but to posit stuff saying that there is no reason and holds bruteness to everything, you have zero explanation for anything to exist then.
Well, by the nature of your sentient mind, you're going to want to map and navigate, and some people are going to look for foundational evidence which they can lean upon and feel like they have a stable foundation. But in actuality, it's unanswered. The question whether or not if it was created or if it always has been is unanswered. Now, if we want to look at
we talk to the Muslim guys, I do like we have an opportunity to talk to a Muslim and perhaps help him.
Yeah, and just give it a few more minutes because I do gotta get out of here. I gotta get something to eat. Tired. But keep on to
so
Habibi, do you understand that if something is perfect,
I understand. I know you understand.
Yeah.
But I just asked the host.
Do you understand it's not possible for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have created or done anything at all. All it could do was exist in a state of non-changing, right?
But yes, what I'm saying is as you know, the definition of God is a being that's eternal, meaning ever existing, everlasting,
ever there. That's not a definition of God. No, that's not a definition of God. Okay, that's your definition of God, but it's not a definition. Sorry,
what's your definition?
I don't have a definition. I go by whatever your definition is because I'm talking to you. Every religious person will have their own version of God, but it's not relevant, Habibi. But we're changing the goalposts now. I explained to you why it's impossible for Allah to have created anything at all, right?
Wait, I gotta go. I'll come back tomorrow if it's live. Are you live tomorrow, sir?
Yeah, I'm live tomorrow at the same time. 7 o'clock, and we'll go to about 9 o'clock. All right, come back tomorrow. Hey, I appreciate you.
Okay, I'll come back.
No problem.
I see.
All right, hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. I've been sitting down for about 2 hours. I gotta get up, gotta walk around, I gotta do some exercises. But hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all. Definitely everybody come by tomorrow. Jay, definitely come by tomorrow. You as well, Satham and Caddy. I always try to run like this for the first hour and a half. I run, one-on-one, and then for the last 30 minutes, we'll go ahead and get a panel going. So hey, I appreciate it, guys. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much to my amazing panel. We will see y'all next time. As I always say, everybody be soft. What that means is to be secure, be affectionate, be wise, be flexible,